Sheridan's The Rivals as a Comedy of Manners. Marks, 10-12. Answer. There appeared in the Restoration period a new school of dramatists, led by Congreve and Wycherley, who offered delightful observations and witty commentary upon the superficial habits of manners, especially of the upper middle class of people. But in the second half of the 18th century, the English stage saw a decline in its quality due to excessive sentimentalism on the stage. It was Sheridan who, along with Goldsmith, revolted against the sentimental comedy of the Restoration period. Sheridan's The Rivals is truly a comedy of manners, as brilliant as Congreve's The Way of the World. Typical of the comedy of manners, the play is essentially social in content. In a satirical timbre, it presents the fashionable aristocratic people whose life is a continual round of pleasures, intrigues and amours. The scene of action here is Bath, a fashionable health resort of England in the 18th century, where the well-to-do come to drink life to the lees. The Rivals does have its share of love intrigues which were common in the comedy of manners. Mrs. Malaprop, a widow of 50, writes love letters to the young Irish baronet Sir Lucius under the disguised name of Delia, a girl of 17. Captain Jack courts Lydia under the assumed name of Beverley as a guy of scanty income and not in his own identity as the son of an affluent baronet. In another complication, Lucius writes sentimental billets due to Mrs. Malaprop, assuming that he is courting her niece whom he calls Delia. The characters in a typical comedy of manners are stock humor characters whose names give a hint of their traits. In The Rivals too, the characters mostly reveal certain deformities in human nature and may well be taken as Sheridan's caricature of some types of men and women. Except Captain Jack, Julia and the servants, the play has a galaxy of funny, rather farcical, men and women. The comedy is made alive with the amazing oddities of these characters. Following the comedy of manners tradition, The Rivals is satiric in spirit. Sentimental lovers like Falkland, sensation-loving ladies like Lydia, the ludicrous misapplication of high-sounding words by half-educated provincial women like Mrs. Malaprop, the absolute dictatorship of old orthodox fathers like Sir Anthony Absolute, all these are Sheridan's elegant satiric portraits. Typical of a comedy of manners, The Rivals is also rich in agile wit and fun. Not only the major characters of the play, but also the minor characters like Fag, a mere servant, speak in witty and humorous language. Some of the speeches of Acres and Sir Lucius are bright gems in the casket of witty and humorous observations. While explaining to Sir Lucius why he has come to Bath, Acres says wittily, "I have followed Cupid's jack-o'-lantern, and find myself in a quagmire at last." In the duel scene, the more Acres gets nervous, the more he fires off wits. However, unlike in Restoration comedy of manners, there is no instance of illicit lovemaking in The Rivals. The only character who can be blamed to a certain extent is Malaprop. But she carries on only a platonic love affair, that too, through letters. Though Sheridan repeats the dramatic formulae of Restoration comedy, he does it in such a way as to make it seem original and novel. Legouis and Casmian observe that, with Sheridan, comedy regains, besides the shining beauty of form, almost all the case of movement it had with Congreve. It is this that makes The Rivals a masterpiece in the realms of 18th century English literature. Finished. Please subscribe to the channel for more updates of ready-made notes on English literature.